Oh, wow. I want to do an update on the story because I wasn't expecting yesterday to run across like all this information like right after I put up the clip. I was kind of like, I don't even get this story. These people all should be arrested, this whole thing. But as I was sent down this little rabbit hole of information, apparently, I guess the dad is part of another like neo-Nazi white supremacist thing, and all these people, like, I don't know about the mom, but the mom be with that before, I don't know. But allegedly they had like the girl doing a tattoo. I don't know on who. It could have been the dad, it could have been him, this perpetrator guy. And she's too young to be doing that. And yeah, we were talking about grooming because I guess what happened from what I gathered in this story before I read what happened here, because it kind of gets into this thing. You know what? I'll read this first and then go into it. So apparently, like, he admits that he was with her on the morning of taking her to school. And it's also in text. Like, there was something that went on here that was really interesting. So the perpetrator guy that's being a suspect right now was a friend of the father's, okay? So he had custody of her. So I didn't really realize that on the news story originally. So she lost custody of the daughter. There was a couple reasons they were saying why she did, and then one was because she tried to take her at 4, but I don't know if she had a drug issue, and so then that thing. Okay, so I had a friend that had, some other issues, and the kid got taken away, right? So naturally, the mom wants to see her, and I actually agree with other people that they should be allowed to have visitation to them unless they were like trying to like kill them or something. I mean, I don't understand like why there wasn't any of that. But anyway, that was a side thing on the story. So I was like, okay, so the mom is out of the picture because she didn't have custody of her. Okay, so then there's that for that thing. So dad here allegedly was letting all these like men around her, the kid, and apparently the grandmother is like old, and they were claiming, this is what's alleged, that she takes a lot of medication, isn't really all there, not mentally stable to be, any of this. So apparently they lived with the grandma, the father, and then some wackos every once in a while on the property. So it's like this guy now. So then the mom had been wanting to have a relationship, I guess, with the daughter. They won't even let her call. They block anybody that she's related to. So this was going on, right? And so this is the odd thing of the story. I don't know how it initiated, but the stuff that I was reading, it said he was trying to set up for them to meet the next day. But it's all manipulative. It was really weird. Okay, so she really wants to see her kid, right? So I don't blame, you see this, it's like a mom that hadn't seen her kid, she wants to see her, and she'll, probably would do anything to be able to do that. But she said, I don't want to pressure her into doing that. Does she want to do it? Can I talk to her? Some things like that. And he's like, sure, I'll set it up and everything. And then she's like, when can we do it? He's like, how about tomorrow? So this actually led people to speculate that he had done something the night before. And it's like, I don't know. It could be that, but it also could be that he was plotting to do something and then was trying to get to meet up with the mom and use her as an alibi or some type of thing to go, oh, she did it. And he may have actually been trying to sit there and set her up to get her killed. Because in another story, apparently he set up, I didn't really understand the start of the story, but allegedly he went and he got a ride or something from somebody and he got him out of the car and he started beating them up on a side road. It was bizarre. I was like, this guy should have never been free. They're totally like those Trump male supremacist dude that like way is just terrible with long histories of everything. And apparently he had a lot of contact to going after kids. And then one of them, they said they did get reported, and then he went to jail for a couple days, and then it kind of cut off and said then she didn't go back to the court thing. So I don't know what happened, like they dropped it, or I don't know. But he did get arrested for it, and he went after a 10-year-old. He tried to rape a 10-year-old. And then just everything bad. Okay. Just that's what it was. But the setup was crazy because I was reading it and he's playing. It was so scary. Like if I was his mom and I mean, I don't know how good or bad of a mom she is, but some guy goes, I'm her favorite person and she won't tell you, something like that, like a total predator thing. And I was like, oh my God, I would have wanted to take that text to authorities. And maybe the whole reason, I mean, she got so stuck in the story that she didn't stand back from the story and go, oh my God, this guy's like a predator. Like looking at it, even suspecting it. And then, I don't know what authorities would have done, but she may not have even thought that because she's having a conversation with him to try to sneak and meet up with her. So, but even still, I may have just stood back and been like, oh my God, wait a minute. But that's what he said to her. And then he's like, okay, so when should we do that? Then they're like, tomorrow. And he's like, okay, I will drive her to school. He said, drive her to school. He didn't say, I'm going to drive her to the bus stop or anything. But he could have meant both those things. But anyway, he did say, drive her to the school. And he said, on the way to the school, then I'll have her talk to you or something. Bring the phone, right? And so anyway, in the morning comes, right? In between this time, he was off. I was so crazy, this story. He's plotting all kinds of stuff. So he's like asking to have sex with somebody else and in trade of taking the truck with the title. Like he was trying to, I don't know, he started propositioning somebody else and then to give him the truck with the title. And people were suspecting, oh, maybe to get rid of the car for evidence and stuff like that. I go, yeah, it's really bizarre. What the hell is that? So he's off trying to get sex in the middle of, of this thing with some random person. And they got mad at him. And they're like, that's disgusting, dude. I'm not a prostitute. Like, what the hell? And he's like, hey, I'm just a straight cheater. He's talking like this. And the actions are so bizarre. Then he starts selling stuff online, like weights, a lot of weights, like his weight set. People are speculating he used weights in the crime. I have no idea. He could also just be trying to get money so he could flee. Like there could be a lot of things in this. So, but the setup with the mom is so evil because I'm like, maybe he was plotting to meet her up with her, right? And then kill her in the evening and then say he had nothing to do with it. And she must have, I had her meet and then she must have kidnapped her. Like he could totally do that as a, trying to push him off from the story, though that wouldn't work really well either. But that would be the only other thing to try to pin the mom. And the mom wasn't pushing him. She's just like, if she doesn't want to, don't push her. I don't want to get in trouble. I'm kind of scared. Like the mom was being like that. And he's like, oh no, I'm on your side. Like this thing. I was like, oh God, this guy's the worst. So then the morning comes. And he says morning, or she says morning, he says morning, and then she's like, okay, something, 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 and then no response. Like there was no text in between it. So then apparently when he drove her, right, they didn't call. Like this weird thing, I don't know, unless they were going to do it at the end of school. But anyway, there was nothing, right? And then at the end of the day, she checks him at like 5 something. She says, I guess it's not going to happen, but, or something weird. And then when she's ready, let me know. And then he says nothing. And then at around, I was trying to go off what I was reading. I think it's like at 7 something. He's like, hey, have you seen her? Why is he asking her has she seen her? Because he didn't call her to let him see her. He's like, do you know where she is? She didn't go to school today. He says this to her when in the text it literally says, he's like, I'm going to drive her to school in the morning. And then when she goes, I'll have her call you, or whatever this thing is. And then so he was manipulating a story. And then some people think that she was part of it. And I go, no, she was only part of it because he's manipulating her because he knows that she wants to see the kid. And I was like, did he just randomly do this? So, she said in the one Fox thing that she didn't really know much about that other than through other people, about him being there and stuff like that. She was trying to get information, and then in here, people were questioning, did they know each other outside of that before? Because I don't know. They said that he told her, told the daughter that she's fun to hang out with, but it's like I don't know what that means. So I don't know if they've met up before or what the case may be, but it didn't. It seemed weird. Just in the conversations, it doesn't seem like they're total buddy buddy. It didn't come off like they're total buddy buddy. They came off like okay, okay, okay. But I would have been freaking the hell out if some guy like that's like, oh, I'm your daughter's favorite person. I'd be like, excuse me? Mostly when you don't have a relationship with your daughter, right? It's like you and you wish you did. And this adult man is texting me that. See, that would have been the flag for me. But she said that she was suspicious of that. I guess, it's a hindsight thing that you wouldn't think that he'd go murder her. But I would have been concerned that he was molesting her just because he's talking in that way. And that may have been the case. Like, it sounded like, I don't know. What is the MO to do this? Because if he was doing that at the house, it's just crazy. The story's just, like, that kid didn't have a chance. Like, the court, what court? I mean, is going to sit there and go, oh, let's let the kid be with these total extremist dudes that they're all rapists. All those guys, they're out and proud rapists. They don't care. With this kid with two males like that, like he put her in danger. So anyways, in the story, I go, if it's as it seems, as we're looking at it, like the dad and his neglect with the daughter and having these people around, the father should be charged. Definitely. The mom was trying to get custody, but again, they weren't. She was claiming, see, I don't know what was going to be on in her mind of meeting her if she did. I don't know if she'd take off with her again. I don't know. Who knows? But it didn't seem like that. She was actually being like, if she don't want to, I don't want. She was talking like that. It wasn't like, get her there, and all this stuff. No, it wasn't in that fashion. It was just like, if she wants to, I would like to, she wants to have a relationship with her in some way. And this is horrible. This story is really bad, actually. It's really bad. It's wacky. I've actually never seen a child case like that, where this random guy tries to set up to have the mom meet the kid that she wants to see. It just plays off of this story. It's just really weird. Yeah, and then the mom's just like, where is she? I guess she don't want to. Nothing. He wouldn't even let her talk to her. That was also another thing. I would have been really suspicious with the guy not letting me talk. I would think something bad here. She said she had kind of a feeling, and then she was going to tell the dad. What'd she say? She was going to have then contact the father and go, who's this guy? Something about it. And I don't know what, the actual, thing was going to be at the end of that. But she didn't want to do anything where she would never be able to see her ever again. Like, that she was making that kind of clear in the story. So, yeah, but the guy wouldn't let her talk to her. So I would have questioned that, because if she wanted to talk to her and then wanted to meet up and he's trying to help, why wouldn't he sit there and just sneak and let her talk to her, right? And go, hey mom, any of that, right? Like, wouldn't you? We've had bad parent situation. Yeah, there's a lot in this stuff, because sometimes you have to go around abusive parents. Yeah, and they've had to do this rescuing the kids from those Mormon cults and stuff, and you have to go around the parents. Like, it's such a fine line. There's a fine line to stuff like that. But yeah, so the story here is then what happens is, okay, so he's gone, and he just, okay, so he's like, I'm the one running out asking people if they have videos. Yeah, probably because he's like, do you have me on video? So anyway, they do have a video of him driving past the stop sign of the school. And so technically what he said, he was going to take her to school. So then therefore you would see him pass the stop sign. And then all this other stuff. But other neighbors were saying that she walks to school every day. But then here you'll see they say he sometimes takes her to school. And then yeah, the father is so negligent. Like he has to have a charge. This is not right. Because you have to be able to defend this kid. You have to have some sort of protection. The kid didn't deserve it. So somebody here needs to be in trouble for some type of child endangerment, like something strange, because that guy shouldn't even, I mean, technically he shouldn't even be around your kid. He's a child predator. He's a felon. I mean, I assume he's a felon. He has a long list of stuff. Did he go to prison? He's a felon. Why is the felon around the kid? You know, this whole thing. And knowingly, and the people, oh God, the people they were hanging out with, I was just like, this thing right here is just bad. It's just all around bad. It's not going to end well. And what's pissing me off is that one of the older neighbor ladies said she went over there and met him like really quick, but didn't care to like get information on him. Like, to me, okay, see, like when I see stuff like that, it's like I want to know who that person is. And he would look like a danger. He just would look like a danger to her. And I would be like, why is this guy around this girl? I mean, I care a lot about this kid, right? Like, that's what they were saying. Like, all this stuff. And I was just like, nobody did. They're just like, we just seen this guy and we're just like, hey, bye. And I'm like, nobody even cares, like, who this other man is around this little girl. They're rapists. Come on. Like, yeah, it was just strange. I was like, nobody here helped out. I mean, I don't know. It's just really bad. And then, so he claims that he went fishing. I'm like, oh, so you're going to take a kid to school and you just magically just out of nowhere went fishing in the middle of a lake. I don't know. It's just the strangest thing because I'm like, it's February. I mean, I don't know if that would be a typical time to do it. It's just convenient, you know, and the story and this and that. And then, yeah, why didn't he respond back to her, though? That was the crazy thing. It was all silent that whole time. I would have been freaking out. But the mom, see, that's the weird thing because the way he played the mom, and the mom's like, kind of like, oh, so the reason why I think he backed out, because then she goes like this. She's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to bring my fiance or the guy with her. And he started trying to back out of it, kind of. It was a weird thing. So I think he changed his plan because he realized that if he, let's say he was going to try to kill the mom or do something to the mom, I think he realized he's like, I'm going to have to take down this guy and her, and it's going to be harder to play this game off. Because I think that was his MO, is to meet up with her and kill her. Because he tried to do something to some other guy with a pipe, dude, and he was like laying there bleeding, and they had to call the cop. They had to do all this other stuff. They like got him down on a side road or something. It was weird. I was like, what is this story? So yeah, he's the type of guy to do something like that. So I was like, wow, that's frightening. Yeah, because he could have sat there, did that. Doesn't everybody's calling them stupid? People feel it's so funny because he's such a stupid criminal that they feel like it's a setup, like somebody else is setting him up or something. I could see where people start going like that because he's dumb, right? Because he is a dumb criminal. He's online texting stuff that even if he did all these crimes and everything, like they're gonna figure it out, right? Because he has a trail online, and they're like, why is it like that? It feels like somebody used his account. I go, no, that's the guy's stupid as hell. He's a sociopath. He's a felon. He has a million things that he's done wrong, and he's not very bright. And he tried to concoct something here where I think he was thinking, honestly, like, I mean, he either had already done something to the kid, and maybe that's why she couldn't talk. That's what we don't know, but somebody else was claiming that she definitely was alive at 6:15 a.m. I'm like, I don't know how you could say that unless you have video that you see her alive and walking. That's the only way that you could prove that. Because I was sitting there questioning it too, as somebody brought that up. I was like, yeah, because he's already trying to do a plot right here. I don't know if the girl is not alive right now. Because it could be he did something. And then he's like, oh, crap. I gotta create something right here to, this thing. And then he's off trying to get rid of his car already in the middle of the night. So I was like, yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. You can argue that I would definitely question it. So I don't see how anybody's claiming that they saw her at that time, because nobody else saw her in the morning. And they claim sun at 6:15, but the time that the car drove by was at that 7 or something like that. They said the last time she was seen was or the last time any known thing was at 7. So you can't claim that she's alive there unless you have footage that you see her alive. You could say she was supposed to leave at 7 and they seen the car drive by, but you don't know if she's alive. Okay? So those are the things of the story. So apparently he gets arrested for some assault thing, a different thing. Now they're trying to hold him to get information about this because they don't have a body or, anything like that. So they find the backpack, and they say Audrey's father was allowed to live in so the perpetrator, he was a friend of the father, and they're both a bunch of losers, and was allowed to live in a trailer behind their house and take her to school from time to time. I would never let that guy I wouldn't let that guy near my coffee, okay? That guy is creepy as hell. And they go, McDougal's cooperation has led investigators to certain locations during the time of the disappearance. And they say details remain undisclosed to the public to preserve the integrity of the ongoing investigation. Okay, so people were claiming, now these are claims and they may not be accurate, okay? So people were claiming that he admitted to doing something and did something in the water. Now, I don't know if that's true. There's other people that are coming out saying there's no statements that were made of that. But some of the people that are posting are actually from the area. And sometimes those things turn out to be actually true, and they just didn't put the information out, and there's people talking over the story. You know what I mean? Doing that. But for sure, they found out that he was fishing. And so therefore, you would go and search the water, because why are you fishing and this girl's missing, right? And that would be location 1. We feel strongly that the backpack found is hers, and they highlighted one of the key pieces of evidence of the case. And the investigation is now classified as a criminal investigation. And they're stressing the charges are neither added nor removed at this time. So another thing they got his SUV, or that car, and they made a comment like there's basically evidence showing that it's like foul play. So somebody has evidence of something. So it could be blood evidence. It could be anything like that, to where it leads them to believe that she's no longer alive. So, yeah, so they're not throwing that all out at you guys right now. Right now, they're in the process of, we need to find where he put her. And then McDougal is believed to have been the last person seen with Audrey before her disappearance. And he texted her. That's why I said, he's stupid as hell. So as he texted her, the mom, hours before this, he's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to be driving her to school. And when I do be on the phone, I'll put her on the phone. That's what he said, put her on the phone. And then the next morning, nothing. All the text said was morning. That's all they said, morning. And then she says this comment, and then there was just no response. And then she waited and waited. I would have been totally going back and forth with that dude. I'd be like, okay, did you take her? Like, what did she say? Like, I'd be like this, but I don't know. Unless she deleted something, I don't know. People think like she's hiding something and helping this thing, but I go, you know what? If she deleted something, the way that this convo was going, I was like, if she deleted something, it's probably because it's something, something that, wouldn't really pertain to this, or it might just look off or something. But I don't think the mom had anything to do with this portion here. I think she was being manipulated so he can use her in the story and or kill her. Because how's he going to explain it, right? Because he was alone with the kid. And if you kill the kid, then Okay, what are you gonna do? You have to think like him. So he's in this house. The dad, I guess, I don't know. I guess they're saying he's out of town or at war. I don't know what the hell with this. And so he's alone with her. So then I mean, I got he could have done. I guess he could have. I don't know. He could have said, "Oh, she took off to school." I don't know what happened. He could have done that story. Um, but it seemed like he was. I don't know because he has to get rid of the car, and so maybe the whole thought process here was, well, if I get rid of the car, it's gonna look shady. I got to do this. I got to do that. And so if I get the mom to come in, it'll look like she kidnapped her. And then if I make her go missing, then it'll look like they took off together and then nobody will know where they went. And then the story will stay on the mom kidnapped her. That's what I was thinking that his MO was for that whole thing. But it would almost show that either she was already dead when he was typing or there was a future plot. But he was off looking to have sex with people and then get rid of the car with the title. I've never seen anybody try to do that crap. He's like, you want a car? You want to get totally up? It was like crazy. I was like, this guy's so disgusting. I'm like, who's friends with this dude? No, the dad needs to be in trouble. No way. There's no way. I was like, if the mom was totally a part of this, I was like, she her too. No, like it's messed up, dude. It's just really messed up. Don't hang out with male supremacists. I was like, they're all rapists. Wait, and mostly these neo-Nazi ones. Oh my God. I was like, what crap is this? They're all hanging out together, all of them. What do they call them? The Orion brother? That thing. Oh my God, it popped up actually a long time ago with that Trump stuff. I feel like when I search this stuff, they're like, oh yeah, that Orion Brotherhood thing. They were called a neo-Nazi prison gang. I don't know, dude. They were called, I'm not, really educated on the different names of those groups, but yeah, they were together. They were flashing like these weird signs and they had the tattoos like all over them. That's why I was pointing out the mom. I was like, she has tattoos, but I don't know if she had that. Um, but these Karens are like, mom needs to cover herself. I was like, I'm not even going on like that. You guys are nasty. It had to do with, I didn't know if they were part of that thing. She might be. She need to get out of that shit. See, this is gonna lead to crap like this. They're all rapists. I was like, that white supremacy, that whole thing is about human trafficking and enslaving any girl and like raping them, and they're supposed to get them when they're really young. And yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want them around any of them. Yeah, and then they hate the Jews. Yeah, oh, it does say it right there. Look, it says McDougal may be affiliated with the neo-Nazi group Orion Brotherhood, although this has not been confirmed. Yeah, okay, yeah, so somebody brought it up. I go, oh, I don't know how they know that, but I'm not. I just know that he's a neo-Nazi because it's like obvious on his arm. But yeah, part of the thing there. And they said he's got prison tats. He's got this. And then they showed a picture of having that little girl do a tattoo on one of the guys. I go, she's like 11. What the hell? Like, who's doing that? Disgusting. This is these men. You don't have these men around kids. Yeah, yeah. And then they're like, grooming. I go, yeah, if he's sitting there going, yeah, put this on my leg, kid, and touch my leg. This shit. No, I want to vomit. So as they're pointing out, they're like, the girl didn't get on a school bus Thursday. Well, she wasn't supposed to, because in the text that we're going back and forth with the mom, he said, I'm going to drive her to school. And it didn't happen. So the mom, I guess, assumed the daughter didn't want to talk to her. I guess that was the assumption because there was no other thing in between that I see that they posted. So I was like, unless something was removed, there was nothing in between it. And then the mom came back saying, I guess that didn't gonna happen, but when she's ready, have her contact me. Something like that. More depressed. More like it sucks. But it was around 5 something. And so here's the other oddball thing in the story. So the school, I have a problem with the school. Okay, so the school, mostly after the Kyron Horman case, holy crap, people still want me to go on it. I was like, I don't want to talk about that thing. So the Okay, so the school didn't report that he was missing right away, right? And you know, every minute counts when your kid doesn't show up to school. So here in this case, allegedly, this is the alleged, that the school didn't call the parent. I guess they called the father at 1 o'clock. I'm like, why do they wait till 1 o'clock? It's like if you're not there at the start of school, then you go absent. I could see them wait. I could see them waiting. I mean, I don't know if they should wait at all, but I could see them waiting till like the next, like, I don't know, hour, like an hour. And then they didn't call anybody till 1 o'clock. And then what happens here? So it was a little confusing. So I don't know if it was a thing. Then they called the grandma or told the grandma. Then the grandma calls somebody, and then it wasn't until later. I don't know what time the mom knew. I just saw that in the text. The perpetrator tells her way late at night. Do you know where she is? She didn't come home from school. And it's so stupid because of what he said prior. It's like so random. And she's like, no, where the fuck? Yeah, something, something. And yeah, so it didn't say, I don't know when she found out, but I saw in the text that he didn't say anything till way later. Way later. Nobody called authorities prior to that, I guess. I don't know. There was all these hours, you guys. It was from the morning till way like 7:30 at night. And I'm like, how, what? Yeah, so I was just trying to figure out how that transpired because I was like, yeah, how do you get told at 1 o'clock even? And then nobody contacts anybody that she's missing till 7:30 at night or whenever it was. It was way later. And yeah, so I guess the way it could happen is because the dad's not there. Maybe he called somebody like the grandma, or the grandma got the thing. Then they said something to this guy, or I don't know, something, something. It just went through this like thing. And then that guy is obviously going, I have no idea. I dropped her off, doing this crap. And then finally someone tells the mom. I guess it was something of that nature. It was bizarre. I was like, I don't. Everybody, even the school.